Yes, yes, the Triple B right here. Beast! Boxing basement in the house for the funds. Squash the haters. Yeah, that Michael, Emperor Michael, that worm who I did so much for and helped. Try and set him up for a live with Sonny so that he could organise a spar, and he swallowed it. And he got all upset when I said, take it. And then he come on, the shit will be live when he's in London off his nut. Yeah, in the hotel motel. Under a false identity and tried to mug the chippy off in front of his pals. Well, this kind of behaviour is no good, Emperor Michael. You're a bum. I'll knock your air chain ass out in like 30 seconds, blood. You clown. Anyway, he hasn't responded. F him. Yeah, people were right. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, you know what? Maybe he's all right in that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, we're not talking about Emperor Bumhole. We're talking about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson will return against the ring against YouTuber turned fighter Jake Paul. Yeah, so it's just been announced today. Yeah, that on the 20th of July at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. 80,000 capacity, apparently. I don't know how much of that they'll fill. But Mike Tyson is going to fight Jake Paul. It's not clear whether it's an exhibition or a professional fight. He's going to be 58 by the time the fight happens. Mike Tyson, 58 years old, right? So, what's a Jake Paul? 30 years younger? I mean, blood clot. What they'd have to find some bum commission. To give you a license. But they will. They will. It's whether or not they've decided to make it, an actual serious fight in inverted commas. I mean, it's all a bit, what's going to happen, man? They haven't announced any weights or any rounds. It's just, we're going to fight. They haven't announced whether it's an exhibition or a real fight in inverted commas. Because let's be honest here, right? Even if it's an alleged real pro fight and they find some bum commission to sanction it, or bribe them, more likely. They'll probably have an arrangement, man. They'll probably have an arrangement. When Tyson had his exhibition against Roy Jones, it's almost like they said, we're not going to hit each other. You know what I'm saying? They both look terrible. They look like poor copies, like People's of Republic China copies of Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. They look terrible. And Roy Jones, it turns out, Mike Tyson was on mushrooms, by the way, at the time, as he told us afterwards. Yeah, I mean, I prefer them mushrooms, man. If you microdose, someone in my fans said it might actually do you quite good. You're feeling it, you kind of, but, I doubt Mike Tyson microdose. He's probably off his nut. But, it's obvious there's kind of an agreement there. We're not going to hurt each other. We don't want to go through the motions, make our mills, and be off. Even though they had a decision, right? It went to Tyson, so I can't remember who sanctioned it, and I can't be bothered to look into it. Whatever. For this one, it'll probably be something similar. They'll probably have an arrangement, yeah. The arrangement will be, I won't knock you out and you don't knock me out. But what would happen if it was a real fight? Yeah, I think, like I said, they'll go the distance. Who will win? I mean, who's the money making now? Well, it's Jake Paul. That's the reality. Jake Paul holds the cards, not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's going to be 58-year-old faded name. Yeah, he's got loads of money and he's got his weed business and stuff. But there's nothing like another 50 mil or whatever he'll be paid dashed his way. So, but the star in the future is Jake Paul. Yeah, he lost to Tommy Fiore. I was surprised they gave him the decision to Fiore, but Tommy Fiore is an active pro boxer who's he's under 60 years old. I thought it could have gone either way, really, and I don't really care much for that fight. But that was Jake Paul's only loss. Right? He's a cruiserweight. I reckon he could probably get down to light heavy. If you went to an amateur gym, they'd be like, "Yeah, this guy's got skills. He can bang. He's fit. You know what I mean? He's not bad. For whatever. What is he had? How many fights has he had now? Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul's had 9 fights, 1 loss to Tommy Fiore, and 6 KOs, right? He's 27, so yeah, like I said, he's 30 years younger than Tyson. He's 6'1", but if you see pictures of them side by side, they always say Tyson was 6 foot, and then they said he was 5'11". He's probably more realistically 5'10", right? He's more realistically 5'10". He's very short for heavyweight. He used to weigh like 220 in his pounds. I mean, in his prime, like, I mean, he looks more like a cruiserweight these days. And I assume they'll make the fight at cruiser, or maybe it'll be catch weight. Maybe they'll make it a heavyweight. I don't know, but I can't believe that, Tyson. So, near the end of his career, the last fight was 233 vs McBride, and he was a bit out of shape then. I mean, I reckon he'll be 210 or something, unless he hits the PDs hard and comes in all muscly, which is possible. But there's going to have to be some kind of agreement here on the weight. Maybe it might limit it at 205 or something like that. I don't know. Can Tyson still make 205? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, he looks slim, but when you get older, you're just heavier, man. You just, for some reason, like, even though you might, when you put on that, I don't know what happens to your body, but it's not as lean. There's more fat that's hidden in. I don't know what, around the organs or whatever. But even when you look not too bad in weight, old people still seem to weigh more than they look, if that makes sense. Probably don't make sense. But what I'm saying is I can't believe I can't believe Tyson can come in at, I don't know, 190, which is Paul's preferred weight. So I don't know. We'll see about the weight. Not that it really matters that much, because this is probably going to be a setup fight and a range fight. They'll probably go, if they haven't announced if there'll be a decision, right? If it goes distance, or if it's just a pure exhibition. I believe they'll probably want a decision, because that'll make it more interesting for the funds, this alleged funds. And, I mean, I don't think a draw would be out of the question, I'm pretty sure it'll be a setup. It'll be a setup, and I think it will go the distance. It'll be probably 10 rounds, maybe 8 rounds. Yeah, and either it will go to Jake Paul on points, because he's the future. And by the way, he's going to take over boxing. I don't mean him personally as a boxer per se. I mean, he's going to become a manager, and he's got so much more money than most fighters do. He's going to be able to. He's going to be a promoter. Yeah, he's definitely going to enter the promotional ring. In fact, isn't he already a promoter? But I mean, bigger. But for the moment, he'll be boxing. He'll probably end up getting a world title shot, a fake one probably. But anyway, the real question is, what would happen if this was a real fight? Because that makes things very different. What would happen if Jake Paul, age 27, the tin fat novice, were to fight ex-world heavyweight champion and alleged legend, Mike Tyson, who's 58 when the fight happens. Now, we all remember how Evander Holyfield looked when he got ironed out by Vitor Belfort, who is 44. Yeah, I mean, that was that a one-round job? That was ugly. Holyfield could barely throw a proper shot. The things with their brains getting mashed up as well by being punched, suddenly their coordination just goes. You remember Chuck Liddell when he was hitting the bag before he come back against Tito Ortiz, and he was, even though he wasn't that old, and he was so bad, he looked like he never boxed before. I mean, had any kind of fighting training. He was awful. Same thing with Holyfield when he was hitting the pads, and there's idiots that promoted it going, look, Holyfield's as good as he was back in the day. I mean, how can they say these shit, man? Yeah. But Belfort, didn't hold back on him. Battered him. Yeah. And, he stopped him. It looked quite nice. It looked like watching old people abuse. You see them videos of someone at old people's homes and they beat up an old person, usually, right? I'm just saying there's a pattern. It seems quite often the old person is a white old person, and the guy doing the hiding seems to be a foreign extraction. I'm just saying. Yeah. But yeah, it looked like that when Belfort was the caretaker. It kind of a switch of positions. Belfort beating up Holyfield and giving him good hiding. What was Holyfield then when he was having that fight? I think he was like 58 himself, wasn't he? 58, I believe, yeah. He looked terrible. And Belfort's not a boxer, and he was 45, and he still gave Holyfield hiding and stopped him in the round. So people say, oh, Jake Paul, he's a YouTuber. No, he's not. Yeah, he is a YouTuber. I mean, yeah, he is, but he's also a boxer. And a half-decent one at his level. Not the world championship level. I'm not saying that, but at his level, he can punch. He's ironed out a few people, including the first, guys who's bombed people out spectacularly, Andre Wargus, Ryan Borland, he beat up in the first round. I won both days in the first round, I think. Or certainly round balling. He couldn't stop Nate Diaz. Nate's tough, though. Anderson Silva dropped. KO'd Tyrone Woodley spectacularly. Also Askren. Okay, Askren, Nate Robinson, and Ali Eastongive don't really count. They're not real boxers. But still, man, he can punch. Now, a 27-year-old battering a 58-year-old, yeah, even if it is Mike Tyson. I mean, if it was a real fight, I'm going for Jake Paul, man. It would be like old people abuse. Even if he gets on the PEDs, Tyson, he's going to be, this guy spends all his time smoking weed, right? I mean, can you really imagine Mike Tyson, age 57, 58, putting in a real camp, PEDs or not? I mean, I believe he was probably doing PEDs when he was boxing because he was a monster from a young age, you know what I'm saying? And, people didn't test for PEDs then, So, Richie Giachetti, his trainer, was well known to give PEDs. Well, he was one of his trainers, one of PEDs to his fighters. I mean, and also, you remember when he went into prison, Mike Tyson, the first time, and he came out, he was slim, real slim, like natural physique, 14 stone. What's that? Under 200 pounds, yeah, that kind of thing. He really, because he hadn't been training, he hadn't been doing PEDs. But, and the next time he came out fat. He's obviously eating a lot. There must be a different regime. But I believe that Tyson's probably juice anyway. So he's not going to stop doing it again, is he? And he still looks pretty... When he got in shape for that Roy Jones fight, he still looked good, for his age. He just couldn't fire. He couldn't do anything. He was uncoordinated, So, I mean, to be honest with you, everyone will be like, oh, surely Tyson will catch him. And they've seen him hit the pads with like about 3 punches. Go, look, he's as good as he used to be. 3, yeah, he could. I'm sure he can still bang a bit. You know what I'm saying? But, he got to land it, number one. And he looked awful when he was actually in there with Jones, even though he may be hitting the pads for a bit. It's good. It's easy to look good at hitting the pads, man. Someone's holding it, wanting you to hit the pads, not to miss. Yeah, you never miss on the pads, do you? Why? Well, very rarely, because they just sit there and you hit them hard. Right? It's very different when you got a moving target, and I just think Paul. I mean, it's the age thing. Like we saw happen to Holyfield against Belfort. Holyfield looked in quite good shape too, and he got absolutely smashed by an MMA guy who's 45. Yeah, Jake Paul's been in boxing for about 5 years now. Well, he's training. That's not that much, but he's 27. And he's got power, and reasonable at his level boxing skills. He would batter Tyson. Yeah, there is a chance actually that Tyson might get a Hail Mary shot in, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, Jay Paul hasn't shown like he's got a weak chin. He sort of allegedly got staggered once, but I don't know. I think it was Woodley, but when he fell into it, it's hard to tell. Most of the fight's been pretty one-sided, and those that haven't, he's never really been hit by a hard shot. So, whatever, man. If it was real, I'd be 90% sure that Jake Paul would win and batter Tyson, probably, And Tyson would quit, probably, like he did against McBride. When the going gets tough, Tyson tends to either quit or foul. When Franz Bolter was beating him up, rewatch that fight. I urge you to rewatch that fight. It was amazed me when I rewatched it. I mean, I remember Bolter was winning, but I didn't remember how much, how superior he was, and how bad he made Tyson look. Outboxing him, out strengthening him, out punching him, until Tyson landed that shot. Fair enough, but Bolter, it's not Muhammad Ali, although he once called himself the White Muhammad Ali for some reason. He's the White Buffalo, but he tried to break Bolter's arm twice or something. I think he bit him on the nipple. I bit McBride on the nipple. That was it. McBride, he bit on the nipple, tried the same trick with the arm break and all that stuff. Well, obviously, with Holyfield, he bit his ear off. To be honest, Holyfield's a dirty fighter, always using his head. Always very dirty fight. He shaved that big dome and smashed it all the time. A real dirty fighter, Holyfield. He never gets pulled up on that. All the steroids. He's just a legend. He's just a legend. It's pathetic, man. Yeah, pathetic. So, yeah, we'll see on July 20th. I'd say I'm not 100% sure what happened, but I think it's a decent likelihood. people will watch that nonsense, right? Obviously, Paul and Tyson will want the payday. I'm not sure they can sell out 80,000 tickets, so come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? You might be talking about one of the biggest names in YouTube and entertainment, one of the biggest X names in boxing, but come on, 80,000 people, man. Yeah. To watch an exhibition, you know. And we'll see what they do with it, whether they actually make it a proper contest. Like, they could, like, make it an exhibition but score it, which is, I think, what they did with the Roy Jones contest. Roy Jones, Mike Tyson contest. Regardless, I believe it'll be prearranged. I believe we won't see a real fight, you know. Tyson won't want to disgrace his legacy. He's got some pride. You know, obviously whatever you get paid, 50 mil or whatever, is pretty sweet. But, you know, he's got other forms of income. Mind you, he's probably, you know, I don't know, probably a bit brain damaged with all the punches and all the puffy smokes. And if you read his book, the amount of yayo he did, man, it's just unbelievable. I didn't realize he got into it so big and so early. It was horrible, but depressing, man. Hardly anything about boxing, just about him doing yayo and shagging birds. It's just gross, man. It left me feel depressed. And there wasn't much insight. I mean, you know, and from the boxing perspective, there wasn't much insight. It was just what a degenerate animal he was. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. That probably will happen because of all the money to be made. Is it as big as McGregor Mayweather? I don't know. What do you think? Put it in the comments, as they always say in American channels. You know, they're a bit cringe American channels because they always do such predictable stuff. But make sure you put it in the comments because they know that comments increases is good for the algorithm. But yeah, put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Peace in the Middle East.